that starts with A is going to be the first word. So you're going to put a 1. Then you're going to look through here, try to find the next word that comes alphabetically. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys 4 minutes. Let me get a timer. Oh, we don't need.
O.
Okay, we'll do the roller coaster one.
P. Q. R.
Okay, you have 4 minutes. Let me see how you do.
Okay, so A, B, so B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, wait, hold on, does anyone start? A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. The one. That would be 8, 9, 10, and then U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Oh, S. Oh, there's another S. I just missed all that. S. Sodium. 7. got it. This was kind of hard. Okay, stop the timer. Got it. Stop it.
Okay, let's see how y'all did. Okay, now look at yours. And this is not a grade, by the way, okay? So what I would like to have you do, I'm going to go through here and give you the right answers. If you got a problem wrong, what you're going to do is you're going to, let's say you said this was number 4, and it's not. I don't know. I'm making this up. So what you're going to do is you're going to highlight it and turn it red, okay? Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at it. As I said, this isn't a grade. This is Mrs. Lot Speech wants to know what you know. That's all it is, okay? So here we go. So aluminum is number 1. Now, when we put things in alphabetical order, I'm going to also kind of teach this as we go along. I ask myself, do I have any words that start with B? No. Any words that start with C? No. How about D? C, looking at my list, no. E, no. F, no. G, do I have any words that start with G? No. Do I have any words that start with H? Nope. Do I have any words that start with I? No. J or K? No. But I do have some words that start with L. So I'm going to go back to my list.
So I'm about to tell you what the most
Let's see, this word starts with L.
But any keybinds are acceptable as long as they allow you to
and this word starts with L.
Fast aerials,
You're not highlighting them, only I am. Okay. Well, when you have 2 words that start with the same letter, obviously you can't put them in alphabetical order. So you have to go to the next letter. Well, let's see. Are you serious? They're both A. So we have L-A, L-A. Well, now I can't do that either. I have to go to the 3rd letter. So I have L-A-W, L-A-N. So I ask myself, what letter comes first, the N or the W? Well, the N does. So now I know that this one is number 2, and this one is number 3. Well, I don't want that to be
Now let's get into some
red.
settings. Now pretty much regardless of what controller or grip you go
Okay.
with, the most popular
Now I go
is
back
using
to here.
slide and arrow from
Do
square
I have
over
any
to
words that
L1.
start with
Now, this is by
M?
far the most common
Let's
keybind
see, I
change
have
among
1.
programmers. And this is you never need to arrow and reverse.
Looks like I have 1 word that starts with M. So I know that's number 4.
Jump and arrow.
Then I say, okay, do I have any words that start with N?
Default of square. It's just not a comfortable grip. And on top of that, moving power slide over to L1 allows you to boost.
Nope,
and
no
power
words
slide
that
at the
start
same
with
time,
N.
which is a lot more needed
Do I
as you
have,
get
oops,
higher
do I have
level.
any words that
And
start
even
with
in instances where you
O?
need to power slide and reverse at the same time, you can just
Nope.
briefly bring your middle finger up to the
P.
L2 and power slide right quick. Making this
Yep,
change
I
is
have
gonna help
one.
a lot with your mechanical skill. Half flips become more
I have
efficient
1 right
because
here, so I know that one's going to be number 5.
more precise because you can boost and air roll
How
at the
about
same
Q?
time.
No, I know
And
there's no
basically
Q
any
words.
mid-air
And
adjustment
how
is
about
going to be
R?
more efficient because it's easier to boost and air roll. Now for the
Nope, no R words.
that had
How about
So,
S?
is it my 4? Yeah.
Oh, I do have 2 S words. So I've got this word,
Yes.
and I have this word. Okay, so now I go to the 2nd letter. Well, I have S-O and S-I. Well, I go back to the alphabet. Which one comes first? Which letter? I. So I know that this one is number 6 and this one is number 7. Okay? So then I go back to my alphabet. Do I have any words that start with T? Oh, I think I have a ton that start with T. I've got this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Oops. Well, I'm going to delete that. Okay, so now I have to go to the second letter. So I have T-E, T-H, T-H, T-H. Well, I know E comes first, so that's going to be number 8. Well, now I go down here and I have T-H, T-H, T-H. I have to go to the third letter. T-H-U, T-H-O, T-H-A. Well, I know A is the first letter of the alphabet, so that's going to be 9.
8 would be like
And then I say, okay, what letter comes first in the alphabet, O or U?
Alright.
The O does. So this one's going to be 10. And this one's going to be 11. Well, guess what? This starts with the last letter of the alphabet, so I know it's going to be 12. Okay, so my question, how did you all do?
4173. 4173.
You did
5,
good,
8,
okay.
12, 6.
So I'm going to go and check this just to see how you guys did.
211.
Okay.
I got him.
I'm just going to check it. Again, this isn't for a grade. This is for, gosh, do my 6th graders know how to do this? That's what this is for. All right. Next thing. Okay, first hour, get on Google Classroom. And second hour, get on Google Classroom. When you click on Main Idea, now I'm going to go through a few of these with you, just to make sure you understand. Okay, now I will tell you, one of the common mistakes that a lot of 6th graders make when it comes to Main Idea is they will think that if something has been mentioned in the paragraph, oh, well, that must be the main idea. No. And that's what we're going to focus focus on here because there's a lot of them like that. So here we go. April Fool's Day around the world. April Fool's Day is celebrated around the world, although it varies somewhat from country to country. In the United States, for example, it's a day to play practical jokes. In France, where the holiday is known as, I can't pronounce it, April Flash, people secretly take paper fish on their friend's back. A common April Fool's prank in Portugal is to throw flour on someone. In Scotland, the most popular trick involves sending someone on a useless errand. Denmark celebrates April Fool's Day on April 1st, but some people they celebrate again in May. On May 1st is yet another day for jokes and pranks in the spring. Okay, so which of these two is the main idea? On April Fish, France's version of what Americans call April Fool's Day, pranksters take paper fish to people's backs. Well, it does mention that, but we have this one. Though there are variations in how different countries observe April Fool's Day, Right now, guys, I only see Fernando working on it.
Because he answered a question. No one else has answered a question because they're probably still reading.
Seth, would you share your screen with me? I'm going to make a breakout room and put Fernando and Leslie, you two, in that breakout room with me.
I did this when I was a bot. Oh, this is gay.
Good job, Leslie. Good job, Fernando. Angel, you're really doing a good job on that, buddy.
Can I get some help?
I didn't hear. Seth, did you talk to me?
Yeah, I said, can I get some help?
Yes, you can. Why don't you share your screen with me? Okay. So did you read it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Seth, which one of those do you think it might be?
The top one, because it actually talks about the detail of the name of Pluto at the end. Actually, I think it's probably the bottom one.
No,
I don't know.
Seth,
Yeah.
Seth,
Yeah.
Seth, shh. Don't take my pause as a you're wrong, okay? My pause is I'm reading it so that I can give you the right answer, okay? Yeah, I guess I would go with the top one. See what happens with the top one. Oh, are you serious? See, I wouldn't have chosen that one. I wouldn't have chosen that one.
Oh my god.
All right, go on.
Alright.
See, actually, you know what? We did this one before in another class, and well, I already gave you that one. Remember the answer?
This one?
Which one?
The one that I'm on?
Yeah, I gave you the answer to that. Do you remember the answer?
Mm-mm.
Were you there, Mr. Seth, when I went over this?
Today?
Yeah.
I was in the bathroom.
Okay. Hey, Seth, I really need you to tell me when you're going to the bathroom. That way, when I call on you and you're not there, I know where you are. Okay?
Alright.
Okay. Oh my gosh, guys. It's 8:35. So pause your iExcel and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Mystery. Teammate, you gotta challenge that. Oh. It's got my rotation hard. You need to stop, teammate. Stealing all the freaking booties.
Braylon, did you hear me? Are you in my 4th hour now, or are you in my 3rd hour? Because you missed 3rd hour yesterday. Braylon, 4th hour. Where are you supposed to be at 4th hour? Oh. I don't mind, you can stay in here, but rather you be present at somebody else's class, kind of, not absent.
He wants to learn about what we're learning today.
I know. That's just like, you were gone yesterday.
Oh, there's boost on kickoff. I see.
So how's everyone doing today? Got a thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
That's good. 2 thumbs up is good.
Thank you for everyone who has their cameras on.
I think we're just missing 1. Technically. So, there you go.
I'll give it a second after I'm sure I'll start.
And, yeah, I gotta, do the co-host thing. There you go.
Thank you. I even have to remind you today. I'm proud.
You almost had to.
So today we'll be learning about Sparta. So if you open up Google Classroom, assignment for today. So if you open that up, you can start. It's called Spartan Athens. I'll show you. We're gonna do it, but it's kind of like last week's assignment, where we're gonna go through a lot of it together and have discussion. First, we have to go over our learning objectives. We are learning to find and cite evidence to prove that ancient Greece has the characteristics of civilization, namely geography, stable food supply, social structure, government, religion, arts, technology, and writing. Today, we're focusing on social structures and government. Before we start, we have some discussion questions I want you guys to think over as I go through my lecture. So, do you believe a system like Sparta would work in our world today? Why or why not? And why do you think the Helot population never overthrew the Spartans? Think about these questions as we're going through the lecture. But before we start the lecture, I have a video for you guys to watch. So I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to watch this video, and about the time it's done, we'll start on the lecture. Just start watching the video.
In ancient Greece, violent internal conflict between border neighbors and war with foreign invaders was a way of life, and Greeks were considered premier warriors. Most Greek city-states surrounded themselves with massive defensive walls for added protection. Sparta, in its prime, was a different story, finding walls unnecessary when it had an army of the most feared warriors in the ancient world. So what was Sparta doing differently than everyone else to produce such fierce soldiers? To answer that question, we turn to the written accounts of that time. There are no surviving written accounts from Spartans themselves, as it was forbidden for Spartans to keep records. So we have to rely on those of non-Spartan ancient historians, like Herodotus, Thucydides, and Plutarch. These stories may be embellished and depict Sparta at the apex of its power, so take them with a grain of salt. For Spartans, the purpose for their existence was simple: to serve Sparta. On the day of their birth, elder Spartan leaders examined every newborn. The strong, healthy babies were considered capable of fulfilling this purpose, and the others may have been left on Mount Taygetus to die. Every Spartan, boy or girl, was expected to be physically strong, mentally sharp, and emotionally resilient, and it was their absolute duty to defend and promote Sparta at all costs. So in the first years of their lives, children were raised to understand that their loyalty belonged first to Sparta, and then to family. This mindset probably made it easier for the Spartan boys, who upon turning 7 were sent to the Agoge, a place with one main purpose: to turn a boy into a Spartan warrior through 13 years of relentless, harsh, and often brutal training. The Spartans prized physical perfection above all else, and so the students spent a great deal of their time learning how to fight. To ensure resilience in battle, boys were encouraged to fight among themselves, and bullying, unlike today, was acceptable. In order to better prepare the boys for the conditions of war, the boys were poorly fed, sometimes even going days without eating. They also were given little in the way of clothing, so that they could learn to deal with different temperatures. Spartan boys were encouraged to steal in order to survive, but if they were caught, they would be disciplined, not because they stole, but because they were caught in the act. During the annual contest of endurance in a religious ritual known as the Diamastigosis, teenage boys were whipped in front of an altar at the sanctuary of Artemis Orthia. It was common for boys to die on the altar of the goddess. Fortunately, not everything was as brutal as that. Young Spartans were also taught how to read, write, and dance, which taught them graceful control of their movements and helped them in combat. While the responsibilities for the girls of Sparta were different, the high standards of excellence and expectation to serve Sparta with their lives remained the same. Spartan girls lived at home with their mothers as they attended school. Their curriculum included the arts, music, dance, reading, and writing. And to stay in peak physical condition, they learned a variety of sports, such as discus, javelin, and horseback riding. In Sparta, it was believed that only strong and capable women could bear children that would one day become strong and capable warriors. To all Spartans, men and women, perhaps the most important lesson from Spartan school was allegiance to Sparta. To die for their city-state was seen as the completion of one's duty to Sparta. Upon their death, only men who died in battle and women who died.
Orange writing. We'll get started there. So, classical Spartan history started with politician like Kirgus Selaukivir giving the Great Reta, which was the Spartan Constitution, and it's notable for being the world's oldest written constitution. He was tasked by the Spartans to create the perfect society, and what he did was create the Spartan state. So Sparta had many distinctions apart from other Greek city-states, most notably their government style, but there were a lot of others, such as you learned in the video. Sparta had no walls, which was pretty unique for Greek city-states. Another major thing that was different was that Sparta was not built on the coast. It was actually built in one of the few fertile regions of Greece, so they could grow their own food there. If you remember in my previous lessons, I said that there was always one notable exception, that was Sparta. So another pretty unique thing about Sparta was coinage and money was banned for all Spartan citizens, and they weren't even allowed to touch it. How'd you guys like to live in a city without money? Head shakes. No one would. You guys have any questions, feel free to ask, or we can move on to slide 5. On slide 5, see if there's no view of the Spartan government and military. So, according to the Spartan Constitution, a Spartan's duty was to always serve Sparta and the Spartan state. Sparta was notable for not only retaining its monarchy, but it actually had 2 kings from 2 different ruling families that ruled at once. So Sparta was also a class-based society, so everyone was born into a class, and they would live and die in that class. There was no class mobility. So the only class that was considered full citizens were the Spartiates, who, in order to be a Spartiate, you had to have 2 full-blooded Spartiate parents that could trace their roots all the way back to the founding of the city. As you learn, all Spartan men were part of the military starting at age 7, and they weren't allowed to live anywhere except for the barracks until they were 30 years old, when they could go out and live with their families. All citizens were granted a state education. This included women, and they were taught art, reading, writing, poetry, athletics, and military training. The state provided food and housing to its citizens. Notably, they were granted estates, so that had farmland. Once coming of age, all citizens were part of what was called the Apella. The Apella was all of the citizens got together and voted whether laws passed, and voted to elect officials into the Gerousia, who wrote the laws. So the word Apella is actually still used in our legal system today, as in the appellate court. And notable, Sparta did not have a navy because it was not a coastal city. Anyone have any questions so far?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I should have ceiling shot Musty Foot. Did I actually just do